Hello beautiful people, another day and another sewing tutorial. Today we'll be using this beautiful yellow 100% cotton fabric. It's very flowy and very soft. We'll be making the maxi skirt and a matching top. Let's get started. We have 3 very long straps and then we have 2 shorter. But for each one of these, you have to repeat exactly the same sewing steps. So you can use the iron to be super precise. And what you have to do is fold over to the wrong side of the fabric. So the wrong side is facing up. You want to fold the straps in the half, like this, and then press with the iron. And then fold them so they meet in the middle. Just as so. Iron again, and then close everything at the end completely, just like this. And it might be super difficult because they are very thin, but be very patient and take your time and really try to get it right. And for the ends, what we have to do is fold over to the wrong side and then continue folding so the raw edges stay inside, and repeat the same also for the other edge. So both of the edges have to be enclosed. And once you have ironed everything, you'll have to stitch like this and then all the way like that, close to the folded edge line. If you have the bias maker, this is this size, you can use this. That helps you to iron the straps. For example, you go like this and you can already iron, and then you'll just have to iron it by folding in the half, just as so. The piece A, the widest piece that you have, what you have to do is, this is the wrong side facing us, you have to fold it in the half, just as so, all the way, and make sure to iron a crisp line over here. So just fold it in half, iron it perfectly flat over here. So this is the pretty side of the fabric being outside, and the wrong side of the fabric is enclosed inside. If your fabric is just like mine, and even if you iron it, it doesn't stay enclosed, what you can do is simply fold with your fingers and continue folding as you stitch. And you can simply stitch also just straight lines starting from here, do the back stitching and continue stitching and just like folding as you stitch with the sewing machine. Since the straps are very thin, take your time and go slowly. Be very careful to really enclose the raw edges inside and do this fold just as so.
Do you hear that? My sanity about to break while everyone I know's out. On a trip, on a boat, on a lake. I'm tired of feeling on FOMO. Babe, I don't even care if we stay home. Put our to-do list on ice. Crank the AC to 79 and make a little island right here. And there ain't a palm tree in sight, but there's not a cloud in your blue eyes. If we need a drink, I'll be the bartender. I got a fifth of Patron and a blender. Baby, slipping on a swimsuit is overrated. You don't need.
After you have stitched all the straps like this, you can go ahead and do another line of stitching somewhere here or exactly in the middle for all of the straps, just to really secure the fabric and make sure that after washing it a few times it's not gonna start fraying or something. So just go ahead and do another line of stitching for all of the straps. This piece that we ironed in the half, so here's the wrong side of fabric, here's the pretty sides, we ironed it in the half all the way. We want to unfold it now, so the wrong side is facing us. You can go on this edge with the overlocker and clean the edge, and then fold it once to the wrong side. and stitch it with straight stitch, back stitching at the beginning and end, and do the same for the other side. Overlock the edge and fold it once to the wrong side and stitch with the straight stitch. If you do not have overlocker, you can simply just do the double folded hem over here and stitch close to the folded edge over here with the straight stitch. So it's up on you, either you can overlock it and fold it once, or do the double folded hem if you have only sewing machine. We just overlocked the edges. Now we can fold it onto the wrong side of fabric, approximately 1 centimeter, or you can actually do less if you prefer. I'll do 1 centimeter, and you stitch it over here with the straight stitch all the way. Don't forget to back stitch at the beginning and end. Now that we stitched the sides, you can iron the sides flat with the iron, and we can fold it back as it was before as we ironed it. So wrong sides facing each other, the pretty sides outside, and you align the sides, and you can stitch over here a 0.5 centimeter seam allowance all the way. Don't forget to back stitch at the beginning and end. So you stitch on the folded edge all the way over here. What we have to do now is we want to measure 3 centimeters from the top edge, so where we did the stitching, the opening is over here. We want to measure 3 centimeters down, and you can mark it with something. That's where we'll be stitching our next stitch. So continue measuring 3 centimeters from the top edge down. If it's easier for you, you can even connect the entire line, because that's where you will be stitching. Make sure to mark it in a way that it is easy for you to follow this line and stitch a straight line over there. So 3 centimeters from the top all the way. Now you want to go ahead with the straight stitch, stitch all the way following the marks that we just made. Don't forget to back stitch at the beginning and end to secure your stitches. And
Do you hear that?
we just stitched this line all the way over here. We marked 3 centimeters from the side here. So what we have to do now is measure 1.5 centimeters away from the line. Like this, we're making the opening for the strap to be inserted through. Starting from this line, we want to measure 1.5 centimeters away, like this. 1.5 centimeters would be over here. So you can go ahead and measure it all the way and then connect the line. Or if you're very good with just eyeing stuff, you can directly go to the sewing machine and do it like that. Now that you marked 1.5 centimeters away from the stitch line, you can go ahead with the straight stitch. Once again, stitch all the way following the marked lines. Don't forget to back stitch at the beginning and end. We just stitched the second line over here. Now what you want to do is align the bottom edges, and you want to clean them up with the overlock. So you want to stitch them together. If it's easier for you, you can as well pin the both layers together so they just stay together while you're stitching with the overlock the bottom edges. So you just want to clean up this bottom fraying edge with overlocker. So you want to overlock both of these layers together all the way over here. Also, you want to overlock all of the edges over here, so at the top, sides, and also at the bottom, and repeat the same for the other piece as well. So for both of these, you want to overlock all 4 sides, and for this one, the bottom 2 layers together. We just overlocked all of the edges for these 2 pieces, and over here we overlocked the bottom 2 of the layers together. So for now we can put this aside, and we'll be working on these 2 pieces. Make sure that the wrong side is facing up, like facing you. So this is the ugly side and this is the pretty side that's going to be seen on the outside. Now what you want to do is fold over the edges. You can fold over 1 centimeter or less, how you prefer. And you can either iron and then stitch, or stitch and then iron, press the seams as you like. So you want to do this for both of them. Also, you want to do the same at the other side.
Do you hear that?
Just so. Also, you want to do the same at the top edge of the both pieces. So over here. If you don't have overlocker, you can simply just do double folded hems over here, like on both sides, and the top you can do the double folded hems, and the same over here. So now what you want to do is go ahead with a straight stitch on the sewing machine. Firstly, stitch the sides, do the back stitching at the beginning and end. Do first on both of the sides, and after that do the top edge for both of them, so over here and then also over here, and don't forget to iron as you go. We just finished stitching the top and the sides. And this is how it should look like for the both pieces. So after you iron it, what you can do now, take again your measuring tape. Once again, you want to measure, but this time you want to measure 4 centimeters from the side down. So you turn this piece with the wrong side facing you. So the pretty side is over here facing the table or the surface, and you measure from the side 4 centimeters and you mark it. And you do it actually for the both pieces, so for this one and as well for this one, so for both of them 4 centimeters from the side. After you have marked 4 centimeters on both pieces and ironed it, what you want to do is take this piece that we worked on previously, that's in 2 layers, and so this is with the wrong side facing up. You can see bifolds are on this side. This is the pretty side, so you want to place it like this, and then you want to take this double piece, and since pretty sides here are on both sides, it doesn't really matter which side you place over here, and you just want to place it on top, and you want to align the edges, and you want to make sure that the bottom matches with the marked lines over here, and you want to pin it in the place so it's like perfectly in the spot, and you want to do it all the way. So make sure first to pin the edges so they align like this. Make sure the bottom aligns with the markings that we made, so 4 centimeters away from the side, and just continue pinning like this, everything in the place. So like this, it's pinned right after the markings that we made all the way. So what you want to do now is you want to go ahead with the straight stitch and you want to directly stitch here where the overlocker edge finishes. So you just want to go from one side all the way to the other using the straight stitch. Don't forget to backstitch in the beginning and end. We just stitched this over here, as you can see, by using the straight stitch. Now what you want to do is fold it over like this, so the like this folded edge is facing the folded edge over here, and you want to iron it. So you want to iron it like this. When you're ironing, you want this seam to be facing up, so you want to iron this direction. So here's the folded edge and here is the folded seam, and the raw seams here at the bottom, so you want to fold it like this going up. You want to iron it like this with an iron. I just ironed the seam upwards and this is how it looks like. Now what you want to do is you can either do it from this side so it's easier for you, or you can do it from the opposite side. I will do it from the other side because it's more visible. You want to measure 1.5 centimeters away from this line. From this crease, you want to measure 1.5 up. And this is gonna be where we will stitch with the straight stitch. And this will be another second opening for the second strap, like the tunnel that we're gonna create over here. So 1.5 all the way. If you want, you can pin these layers into place so they don't shift. Make sure to like really pull it when you're pinning, so there's not like extra fabric over here. But I will stitch and then I'll just pull these sides away from each other, so just to really make sure this spot is flat. If it's easier for you, you can go ahead and pin everything in place. Then I would suggest you pin from this side so you can really like pull this fabric and pin it in place. Just as so, and you can continue pinning all the way. And then stitch from this side following the marks that we made. Stitch by using the straight stitch, and don't forget to backstitch in the beginning and end to secure your stitches. Now take the other piece, also where we marked markings over here. You want to place it with the wrong side facing up and the folded hem at the bottom. So the only overlocked edge is over here. And you want to take this part that we just stitched. Make sure that this is facing up and you want to place it like this. So the pretty side, it's facing up, and this ugly part is facing down. And once again, you want to pin it exactly next to the marked line that we left over here. After you have pinned everything together, you want to do just as we did before. Stitch exactly following the overlock mark and stitch all the way with a straight stitch. Don't forget to backstitch at the beginning and end. We just finished stitching this seam, and now you want to do as you did before. You want to unfold it, so make sure all these parts are like facing up, and you just want to iron it upwards. And then as you did before, you want to measure here 1.5 centimeters up here, and you want to mark it all the way. So now I'll go ahead and iron this, and then we will mark with the designer chalk 1.5 centimeters facing up.
Do you hear that? My sanity.
Now, just as we did before, make sure to pull both layers this way and stitch all the way with a straight stitch, following the marked lines. Don't forget to backstitch in the beginning and end.
Do you hear that? My sanity about to break while everyone I know's out. On a trip, on a boat, on a lake. I'm tired of feeling all FOMO, babe. I don't even care if we stay home, put our to-do list.
Now we just have to finish off this raw edge. So the side where we have these hanging, that's the pretty side that's going to be worn on the outside, and this is the wrong side of the top. So we just want to like have it with this side facing us, and you simply just want to fold it up once, and you want to stitch it over here all the way with a straight stitch, and don't forget to backstitch in the beginning and end.
Do you hear that? My sanity.
We are almost done, so we have very last steps. We need to take a safety pin, and we have to take the straps that we worked on previously. There is 3 very long straps and 2 shorter straps. So take the 3 the longest. So we need 3 of these. You want to take the safety pin and you want to attach it to one of the straps. You want to just get it through this tunnel. So the first one, it's this opening, then the second one is this, and then the third one is this. And you want to insert the straps all the way through all these 3 openings. So we just insert the first strap. Make sure to leave the edges out and just leave it like this for now. We'll fix it up later. Now we have to get through the second one through this opening.
Do you hear that? My sanity.
We got all 3 straps through. So what you want to do is kind of like try to distribute the ruffles evenly across the entire top. Yeah, so just try to get it even for now, just by the eye, like so it looks on both sides even. Something like this. And now you can try the top on, and you try it on like this, and then you can tie the bows accordingly to you. And if you like it to always stay there, you can afterwards come here and stitch it over here with the straight stitch, just to keep the straps in the place. So I just tried it on over the top. So what you want to do is you really want to take your time to distribute the ruffles evenly. I took some time to like get them the way I would like them to stand. I'm not really good with the back, but I think it still looks cute, so that's all right. So you want to basically just tie the ties in front, so it's like standing very tight on you. And then yeah, you want to just like push either like more far away the ruffles or closer, and just like really work your way into making the ruffles stand the way you want them to stand. After you have done that, what you can do, as I said, you can put a pin in here, for example. You can put a pin. Make sure to pin also inside the strap. And you can just go over here with a straight stitch to really just make it stay there forever, so it's not gonna like lose the spot. So you just have it always in the spot that you want it to stay. I want to like have some kind of triangle here, so I will put them here. Okay. Also, I want to do the same for these 2, or I can just leave them. I will do for this one, and then the last one I will not put the one inside there. Just as so. So here you'll want to stitch with a straight stitch a few times to really reinforce the straps in the spot that you want them to stay in. Also, we have these two straps, and you can either leave it without the straps at the top, or you can actually just put the straps and then you're going to be able to tie them at the back. So for the straps also, it really depends on you where you want to place them. So what you want to do is just unfold it and kind of like decide where you want the strap to begin. For example, for me, I wanted to start from this point. So you put it inside there. Where is the strap, right? And where is the strap? You also want to pin it there. Be careful not to pin yourself. So kind of like this. So here goes the strap and you pin it on the strap. So it's gonna start coming from there, over here. And you want to do the same for the other one. Or you can just leave the top without the straps. It's completely up on you. So also kind of make sure that they're kind of even from both sides so it doesn't look weird. That one side it's a little bit more far away and then the other one is closer. Okay. So like this. Now I don't see in a mirror, but I would double check in the mirror that they look somewhat from the same side, and then you're gonna just be able to tie these straps at the back of your neck. So it's gonna help also to not let the top slip over your girls or something, you know. Just gives extra security that this doesn't slip down. But it's standing very tightly, so if you tie it tight, you should be good. Yeah, so let's finish these last stitches and we're done. So over here we pinned the strap. What you want to do, you directly want to stitch in the stitch line. So you see here is the line, and you can also move away a little bit the ruffles. You want to stitch over here and here to like really secure the strap in these two parts. And you want to do the same over here. Make sure to like overlap it. And again, here you want to stitch following this line and this line over here to really secure the strap. Also over here, we put the pins. You also want to follow this stitched line and you want to stitch a few times here and a few times here. And also a few times over here and over here. And we're done. And the top is finished, so we just stitched the straps over here in the place, and also over here you can see following already existing lines we stitched the straps over here, and that is it. The top is finished.
Do you hear that?